Okay, in this video, we're going to do a quick explanation on how to add grease to the designated grease points. So first thing we want to do is turn the machine off. We're going to hit the e-stop first and then turn the machine off. All right. And for safety reasons, we're going to disconnect at least one and another yellow safety cable. So here you can see on the print carriage there is a grease point right here, and that exists on every print carriage on every head of the machine. It's going to be in the same location. So I'm going to show you how to grease the first one. This is a grease gun. This is going to go onto that grease point. You're going to push it until you feel a little click or a notch. And I like to actually push inward against that point just to make sure there's a good seal as I'm pulling this trigger about 3 or 4 times. All right, and then we're gonna pop that off, just pulling backwards. So that needs to be done on each head. Then we're gonna go below to the carousel. Okay, so the carousel has one right there and one up there. So we're gonna reach in there and get those 2 points. Okay. All right, now we're going to go around to the front of the machine and we're going to grease the indexing system. So here, you'll see on the indexing system, there's a grease point right there. Now, there's actually a second grease point. I'm going to show you first how to access this grease point, and then I'm going to show you how to offset the servo so that we can access the second grease point. So okay, got that one. So now we're actually going to turn our machine on. Okay, so now we have to turn the machine back on to be able to change the servo rotation direction, and that's what's going to enable us to access the other grease point. First, I just want to show that I did reconnect the yellow safety cords because I won't be able to change the rotation unless these are all connected. So the first 2 that I disconnected, I reconnected them. And now we're going to turn the machine back on. Okay, so now that this is booted up, we're going to go to main, and we're going to go to servo. Right here it says rotation, okay? when we switch that to the opposite direction, this bottom area servo is actually going to come all the way out, and it's going to expose the other grease points that we need to access, okay? So I'm going to hit my reset button so that everything locks into place. Then I'm going to hit rotation. And once I hit the reset button one more time, you'll see that bottom servo move out to the left. There it is. Now you can see the other grease point fully exposed. So we're going to access that one. And there's actually one more at the front right here. So we're going to turn the machine off again so that we can go down there and grease those. E-stop, power off. And let's get closer down here. So here's you can actually see, that's the first one we did earlier. Now we're gonna do this grease point right here. Then we're going to do another one right there. This one's a little bit hard to... There we go. And now we're going to add some grease to the bearings, and they're located underneath the carousel right here. They actually go all the way around. It's very simple. All you have to do is use the grease gun. You can put some on your hand and you can rub it underneath, but you do want to make sure, probably switch out your glove, because you can see I do have some dust and some old grease on there, so I'd switch to a new glove, put some grease on the glove, and you can rub it on those bearings. Aside from those, there are more of these bearings at the end of each pallet arm. You can do the same thing, manually adding grease on those bearings all the way around the carousel, and inside of these registration forks. There are, on this machine, there are 3. That's the second one, and there's one directly behind that center shaft.